The steps, AA and NA, self-help groups, they're a form of counselling and they're a form of transactional analysis in themselves. So you see, what you need to do if you're embarking on a specific plan, like doing the steps, you need a ceremony, a ceremonial point where you pass from completion of that step and move on to the next step. Right? The reason that doesn't work in treatments very well is because it's kind of a forced thing. It's got to come from your heart, not from outside motivation. So when you get out there, you know, whether you've done step one in treatment or not, with your sponsor is the ceremony. Your sponsor is the transactional analysis point. It's where the sponsor says, well, what you're going to do is you're going to read this book, read that book, and then we'll have a discussion, and then we'll have a look at that. Or they'll say, well, read that book, go to these meetings, and then write down a step one as laid out in, and then bring it to me. However your sponsor says do it, you do that. Take it to your sponsor, right? And your sponsor says, right, can't see any holes in it, congratulations, you've done step one, now do step two. So you've had the ceremony. It's like the sponsor is the certificate giver, yeah? And I think that's an important part of the process. I really do. I mean, my first sponsor, you know, I went up to him and I said, well, I've read the books and I've thought about it quite a lot. And I think I've done step one. And he says to me, I can't do the accent, right? I'll try. He was a builder from South London, you know. And he was like, I was scared stiff of him, that's why I chose him, yeah? So I said, oh, I think I've done step one. And he said, well, are you powerless over alcohol? Yeah, definitely. Is your life unmanageable? Yeah, oh, totally. Congratulations, you've done step one, now do step two. You know, and that was my step one. And that was right for me at that time. Now I had another sponsor. I was working to an official one and an unofficial one. And the next sort of day I was going to a meeting with the unofficial sponsor, who was not a brickie from South London, but somebody who, you know, it was still harsh, but he was more of an intellectual sort of person more like myself, I guess. So I said to him, I said, we were going in a car to the meeting, and I said, I've done step one. And he says, and he had this sniff, this contemptuous sniff, I used to call it. Whenever I used to say anything that with any kind of confidence, he'd have this. So I've done step one. And he says, congratulations. And then the other thing, he says, so, are you going to drink alcohol or take any drugs tomorrow then, Wayne? And I says, no. He says, you haven't done step one. And so that was part of the process too. Yeah. And I'll be honest, you know, my experience, there are times when I've thought, yeah, I've got this step one thing, and then I've had to readdress it. You know. So I am sort of constantly doing step one. I'm constantly trying to find new angles on it.
It is on a daily, it's changing on a daily basis.
For me, it certainly is. You know. For some people, it's like, it's just that, and that's it, and that's all they know, and that's fine, but I complicate matters. And I like to do that. You know, so my step one is very complicated. Because that's what I need. Yeah? So we're all different, but you know, do the steps. We say that's the priority, especially step one. Because without that, you know, not much chance. Then do the negative to positive work, the CBT work, as much as you can. Negative to positive. The reason for that is if you do intend in the future to embark on doing any actual challenge work, some transactional analysis, You can't do that with a totally negative head, because that's just abuse. It's just more abuse, isn't it? Yeah? So somehow, as a parent becoming, as a trainee parent, the biggest part of your training is to change your thought patterns from negative to positive. Because I'm guessing that your hurt and damaged and wounded child is going to need some of that. And if you don't have it to give, I'm not sure that you can reparent this child. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we tend to sort of go for anything sort of CBT, negative to positive, for a while, such as Louise Hay and Susan Jeffers, and get a more positive kind of thought processes going on, because this child's going to need that. If you ever do your actual childhood work, what we call transactional analysis, and again, you've still got to do it all on your own. This is done in a room in silence with you and you. It's the relationship that you're building with yourself. So at the end of the day, you can only do that in a room with you and you. You can get support and help, but nobody else can do it.